Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video just on your internet. And in today's video I will be touring Mount Massive Asylum from the video game Outlast using a mod that is going to allow us to load all of the existing sections and chapters of the game all at once. So this is going to allow us to get a much better idea of how the actual Asylum is laid out and all of its different components pretty much. And yeah, so I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video. I hope that it will, at the very least, I hope you will at least enjoy it, and or at the very least, actually get a better understanding of the actual building. And yeah, so like I said, this is possible using a mod that allows every single chapter of the game all at once. And as you could imagine, it does create a bit of lag, so if there is a little bit of lag, apologize. My computer should be able to handle it and also record this at the same time. And yeah, so I'm going to be dividing this video up into different sections, so there'll be a different recording. There's going to be a different clip for each section, so like the chapters, so there'll be a different section for the mail ward chapter, for example, or the prison block chapter. And yeah, so I'm going to have timestamps in the description of this video in case there's a different section that you want to learn a little bit more about. And yeah, so this first part will just kind of be an overview. I'm just going to give you a very basic overview for in case you are not familiar with the Asylum and how the different sections are laid out. So I'm going to be going it over quickly in this kind of first overview, and then later on in the video, like I said, go over different sections a lot more into detail. And yeah, so first off, to start, we do have Mount Massive Asylum's administration block. This is at the very front of the complex, and you see it in two chapters in Outlast, the first of which is the very first chapter of Outlast, the administration block. We also see this in the Return to the Administration block chapter, which is the penultimate chapter in Outlast. And we also do see this in the final chapter of the Outlast Whistleblower DLC, Exit. We see it kind of towards the end. And yeah, so like I said, this is at the front of the administration block. I'm not going to be going over the actual purpose or any of the rooms. I'm just showing you where it is in relation to all of the other different sections. And yeah, so there are a few small courtyards, and this is of course also where you find the main entrance to the actual asylum. And also partially below the administration block is the underground lab, which is seen in the final chapter of Outlast, which is called the underground lab. And you also see this in the first chapter of Outlast Whistleblower, which is also called the underground lab. So this is the underground lab sub-basement. It is a sub-basement because there is just a standard basement below the administration block, the male ward, the female ward, so. And yeah, but anyways, on the left-hand side of the actual administration block is the Asylum's male ward. This is seen in Outlast in the chapter Male Ward, and it's also partially seen in the final chapter of Outlast Whistleblower, Exit. So that's on the it's on the left-hand side of the administration block, and then on the right-hand side of the administration block is the female ward, which is only seen in chapter Female Ward in Outlast. It's not seen in Whistleblower or anywhere else. And so you're going to notice the female ward is very similar to the actual male ward. They're almost identical, pretty much. And then right behind the administration block, and kind of to the sides, kind of borders the wards, is the courtyard, which is seen in a chapter courtyard in Outlast. It's also visible in Whistleblower at times, at one time near the end of the prison chapter. So, but you actually access this area only in Outlast. This is the courtyard chapter. So this is kind of the main central courtyard of Mount Massive Asylum. There are other courtyards, for example, the ones we saw in the admin block, and there's also some other courtyards like the recreation area and drawing ground, but this is the main central courtyard of Mount Massive Asylum. And it's divided into kind of two sections. There's this hallway that connects the administration block and prison block. And yeah, but anyway, speaking of the prison block, this is kind of at the heart or center of the actual complex itself. You see this in the prison block chapter in Outlast, and you also do see this in the prison chapter in Outlast Whistleblower. And you are going to notice, kind of a fun fact of the prison block is it's very similar to the actual female ward and male ward. There are some differences, of course, and also the actual there are some differences on the exterior, of course, but there are also going to be the interior of the prison block is a lot different than what you see in the wards. So, and like I said, this is kind of at the center of the asylum. More or less, actually, it's kind of also kind of towards the rear, since this is all just wilderness right here. This is part of a mountain here. So, and yeah, so moving on here, so you're going to notice there's this hallway here that connects the prison block to the male ward, and it also connects it to one of two vocational blocks here. So this is the vocational block, which is only seen in Outlast Whistleblower. It's seen in the vocational block chapter, so towards the end of the game. And so this is one of the two vocational blocks. There's actually two of them. So there's this other one that's all the way at the very back of the asylum. This is very much the furthest point all the way back. So it's very far away from the actual administration block. But this building, you never actually do go into. It's the only section of the asylum you never actually do end up visiting. But it is kind of part of the drawing ground here. So this is another area in Outlast Whistleblower. This is seen in the drawing ground chapter. And so this is just kind of another courtyard, much like the courtyard we see in Outlast. So it just kind of provides a separation between the prison block and the vocational blocks. And the drawing ground also has a water tower and some maintenance sheds. So, and also this the series of hallways that connects the prison block to kind of the other vocational block. And yeah, so again, I'm going to go a lot more into detail about that later in the video, but for right now, let's just go over kind of the last major section here, which is the hospital, which is it's the second chapter in Outlast Whistleblower. It's seen in the hospital chapter. So you can't really see it that well because of the fog that's in the recreation area. So, but I'm just basically showing you where it is. So it's actually right behind the female ward and off to the right-hand side of the prison block, whereas the vocational blocks are to the left-hand side of the prison block. And you also do have the recreation area, which is also seen in Outlast Whistleblower in the chapter recreation area. So it's also behind the female ward and off to the right-hand side of the prison, and it kind of provides a separation between the prison block, hospital, and female ward. Other than that, it doesn't really serve too much purpose. It's just another courtyard, which also has kind of a prison, kind of a prison yard, kind of an exercise yard for the the inmates for the prison block, pretty much. And then there's also a hallway that connects the prison block to the female ward. And so that's pretty much it. And then we also do have the sewers. So these basically run underneath most of the asylum, pretty much. And they're basically, you know, what you would expect, just a bunch of sewer tunnels running below the asylum. And some of them are connected to the basements of the male and female wards, and also the administration block. So with that, that's basically just a simple overview of all the different sections of Mount Massive Asylum. So here's just kind of a 360. So, you know, admin block all the way at the front, female ward, hospital with the recreation area, prison block, and the 2 vocational blocks with the drying ground. You can see the water tower, the drying ground. The male ward with the courtyard at the center, and back at the administration block. And yeah, so that's going to be it for the overview. The next area I will be visiting is the administration block, so that's what we're going to focus on in the next section. And yeah, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video.